Recording in progress.
as well as hybrid. Quick note to residents, all citizens are welcome to attend public meetings in person, to view the live meeting remotely. Citizens are encouraged to watch the live stream of Franklin Hall Town Hall TV YouTube channel, or the live broadcast on Comcast Channel 9, Verizon Channel 29. Meetings are also archived by Franklin TV and on the Franklin Town Hall TV YouTube channel, and shown on repeat on Comcast Channel 9 and Verizon Channel 29 for those who missed the live meeting. To listen to the meeting remotely, citizens may call in using the number 1-929-205-6099. This will not permit participation in the meeting. To participate in the meeting remotely, citizens are able to join a Zoom webinar using the information in the packet online. Any participants who wish to speak during the webinar must enter the full name and email address when joining the webinar. All participants will be automatically muted upon joining the webinar. In order to speak, participants who have entered full name and email address will need to select the raise hand function to request to be unmuted. All speakers will be required to state their full name and street address before commenting. Okay. We have an agenda of one, and that is a revisit of the marketing and branding project. I'll shoot it to you, Amy.
You can shoot it over to me, sure.
Perfect.
Before we go into, the draft scope of services and the draft call for proposals, I was going to just give a brief update on the branding and marketing campaign or the project and give a little bit of a PowerPoint overview, if you don't mind.
Beautiful.
So as you may recall, this project began before my time in Franklin. However, Jamie has tasked me with bringing this project to fruition. So I just wanted to kind of go into the scope. Before we go into the scope of services, I wanted to provide an overview of the benefits of municipal branding and where this project currently stands as we move forward with this. Branding, as many of you might already know, can be a very powerful tool to create a unique identity, attract investment to the town, and boost tourism, and also foster community pride. It can also create organizational unity and efficiencies within the organization, and also help the town effectively communicate. We really can't move forward with wayfinding without really pulling together a brand for the town. So as you can see here, our brand is currently inconsistent, and we don't have brand guidelines for the departments to adhere to when we create our official marketing and communication materials. Our seal has been used in many different ways. It's been edited, it's been turned into different colors. They've added a new imagery there. So we really, we need a consistent brand across all departments. As you can see here, departments are creating various logos and seals to support their work and to represent the town. A new logo will seek to unite the team and our public image. It's important that the public sees the town and interacts with the town in a consistent manner, as this will allow them to determine that they are actually interacting with someone officially from the town, whether it's through a mailing, through the website, through social media. They know that it's actually a town-sponsored site. A consistent brand is also professional, and it provides equity across departments, as some departments are able to pull together a logo or a brand and have that expertise more than others. Part of this project will also address the current town seal, creating a clear, consistent, visible seal for usage across departments. In 1889, the Massachusetts General Court dictated that every city and town establish a seal uniquely representative of their identity. Franklin has a history with Ben Franklin. Obviously, that's where our original seal comes from, and certainly that is unique to the town, but it doesn't really represent who Franklin is today. It represents our history. Many towns who have gone through a marketing and branding campaign chose to retain their town seal for official documents and formal use, in an effort to restore the honor of their original seal and prestige to the official seal, but use a logo, a new logo, for everything else. I would suggest that as part of this project, that Franklin consider this path as well, as it takes a tremendous amount of time and effort to change the official town seal. And it also preserves our history. So these images here on the screen, Vicki Earls actually got these for me. I know some of them are very hard to read, but they're from town reports that, you know, have the articles in it where the town did adopt the seal that you see in the top right. And then she also gave me the passage in the book, The Way to Wealth, from 1758 in Benjamin Franklin books, that in his book, that also talks about that industry need not wish quote. So I just thought I would put that up there so people can kind of see some of the history there of the original seal. So moving forward, I would say that the new visual community brand would be in addition to the town seal. Obviously, this would be a community decision, but in just researching what other towns have done, that would be my recommendation. The new brand should reflect who we are, where we've been, and where we're going, and represent Franklin's vibrant community and rich history, from our open space to our downtown, our landscapes, to our landmarks. You know, we're hoping the winning proposer will, you know, convey the spirit of Franklin and showcase our community pride, and that the new logo will resonate with, you know, our residents and our businesses and everyone that interacts with our community. This is an example of a new, of Amesbury, and the city of Amesbury did their new logo in, I think it was 2019, and they used both their official seal and a new logo. And their new design illustrates various aspects the community chose to highlight. They recently, the city of Amesbury was recently on a webinar, and they talked about this design and, you know, really where it came from. Their archway, you know, mirrored their architecture. The carriage wheel, you know, was looking to the future, where it looked like sunshine, but it also was a carriage wheel, you know, looking at their past. They had the green lines that really reflected their open space, agriculture, the preservation of lands. They have a river that goes through the town, which was essential to life in Amesbury because they're a mill town. And then the orange reflects, you know, the mills, and then they wanted it to be colorful to represent the diversity of the community. So really that's something we could do here as part of the process, really looking at, you know, what we think symbolizes the town of Franklin. And this is just their branding put into practice, so you can kind of get a better idea of how it's used in different towns and whatnot. They have it on their flag, on their website, the wayfinding, their town swag, the budget book, business cards, etc. And then really, their branding really allowed them to streamline their systems and create efficiencies. So as you can see, they have on the left-hand side here, the logo, and then they use it in a couple variations with their, they have like a logo, and then it says make history here. So that's kind of their slogan. And then they keep the brand consistent throughout most departments, and then just put the different departments underneath. So that's the different lockups for the specific communications for each department, which unites the town but also distinguishes each department. And then they decided to have a couple of the bigger departments have their own similar logo but a little different, with a different coloring: Public Library, Public Works, Fire, and Police. again, just talking about how it allowed them to streamline the systems and create efficiencies. Part of this project would have templates and toolkits for each department, so they're clear on where to use the logos. They're not creating their own. They're already created in a database for them to be able to use. They'll know how to use them, the most effective way to use them. This saves a lot of time and money and makes their jobs easier. And then just going into the project itself. So far we've developed a scope of services for the state grant. This project was funded from a state grant for $50,000. We completed an internal inventory and a brand audit of all the imagery that we're using across the town. We've executed the grant contract with the state, and the earmark needs to be spent by June 30th, 2025. We determined that we should do this project in 2 phases. The first would be creating, cleaning up the seal and creating a new logo, and the second would be more the marketing and the wayfinding phase, which will take a little bit longer. And then before you is the drafted call for proposals for review. So we want to finalize that, and then we want to solicit at least 3 written quotes from potential vendors and create and launch a community survey to get some feedback on what people want to see in the new logo. As part of this process, we'll be collaborating with town staff, again, seeking community input from a survey, hosting listening sessions through this subcommittee, utilizing and also utilizing existing resources like the Franklin MAPC market study and any feedback we may be able to obtain from the master planning process. So at the end of this phase, we hope to have the town seal image, a logo with a potential slogan or tagline, those design lockups for each department, for department-specific communications, potentially 6 separate logos and colorways for various maybe external departments like police and fire. We have to work with the different departments on that. And then the slogan, tagline, and the full brand guidelines for each department. So there's a framework on using the branding versus the town seal. And then this will all help with the rollout of the brand, finalizing the website redesign project, and moving forward with the marketing and wayfinding campaigns. And this all helps with our marketing and branding as we move forward. We're going to be telling a story in a streamlined, cohesive way that hopefully will spur economic development in our downtown business area, expand business, attract new business, create downtown vibrancy, and help with the creation of our digital marketing, our business guide, and marketing video and overall communications. And then we have somewhat of an aggressive timeline, but we hope to get this done, kick it off by the end of July and complete by the end of November. If we can do that, we might be able to get it done in time to put into our new website project as well. So that's it.
Great.
Any questions?
Thank you. I'll shoot it to the team first for questions.
Go ahead, Patrick.
So you said Amesbury, they kept the original seal or just got a new logo?
They did, yes. They limited the seal on, official documents.
Okay.
So they really wanted to move forward with marketing the brand more so than the seal. But some letterhead, formal legal documents, they kept the city seal.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Through you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah.
To Amy. Okay, I love this timeline. It's nice and clean. We'll get going on that. My question on that, on the timeline is, would we have the new things ready to be put out at Christmas time, the new seal, if it's done in November?
I think that really the way that we would have to roll this out would be incrementally as we get new vehicles, as we order new business cards, as we order new, vests or what, then we would be incrementally putting that on there. I don't think we would be able to budget for doing this all at once.
Okay, I was just thinking putting it out then, like, because we have all the lights up and all the different banners and
Yeah,
just so people would start to get used to it.
I think we would have to look at a budget for that, but certainly, the way that I've seen other communities do it, it's more incrementally and phasing. With the website and more the digital marketing, we could do that easier than, putting it on vehicles and the stuff that costs a little bit more.
Okay. Now, couple
Keep
more.
going, go ahead.
The Ames, the one that did the Amesbury, is that company on our list?
We can certainly ask them to bid. That was a company in Newburyport.
Yeah, no, I didn't really love that one, that's
Oh,
why
okay.
it kind of just looked more like crayons almost,
okay.
so I just didn't,
Yeah, we'll ask several companies to bid, we can put
Yeah.
them on the list or not, so.
okay, well, we'll have a lot to look at. And, so that goes with the consistency, that was your big word, that's the word we need to keep talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
So
And you-
everything is,
As you can see, many departments, and some of the designs are wonderful, but it doesn't create a cohesive brand where
No.
people know that it's a town brand. And that's
Right.
really the aim, is to make sure that people know when they see it, it's the town of Franklin. It comes from the town of Franklin, whether it's a bill or the website or our social media pages, they know that it's our official documentation.
one last one, Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead.
No, it was interesting, because I saw, way back, I think I was somewhat involved in this, but when the police redid their badge, like, it was done with the front of the police station. That's how proud everybody was of that station. This must have been 20-something years ago anyway. And now it's gonna, hopefully in a few years, it'll be outdated, so they're gonna have to change their badge too. And maybe they could even use some of this branding, so
Yeah.
it just shows that things don't last forever here.
Right.
I know like Amesbury again had a covered wagon on theirs,
Yeah.
I mean, it just,
I think they
And they still
built
use
the
that,
first
that's their
car,
seal, they
yeah.
still use it, but
Oh,
I
right.
think sometimes it's nice to show that this is the official seal, but then have something that's a little bit newer, and then kind of looking forward to the future too.
well, I have a lot to listen to. That's, thank you, Mr. Chairman, thank you, Amy.
Okay, thank you. Few questions. This was great. I love, there was a whole bunch that we asked you to sort of chew off, and I think breaking it into the two phases makes a lot of sense. Like, we want to get to wayfinding, we want to get to marketing, but starting with materials, colors, and a logo is the right start. First question, is phase one, have all the funds already been allocated / received? Are there any additional requests on the town budget to complete phase one?
No. So it's, we have a $50,000 grant, we anticipate that the project will not be more than that. I think the implementation will be more, but
Yeah.
the actual getting the logo and the design and the guidelines and everything we don't anticipate that, so. And
Okay.
it's.
Is that an educated were we
I-
able to look at some
I think
others?
we can definitely do it within, under the 50,000. Amesbury did theirs for 5,000.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay,
And they said that was back in 2019, so it was a little while ago. But it was also, they said that they asked for a lot more, and really their project was probably more of 15,000.
Sure.
So,
sure, okay, good. from a timeline perspective, I think that's within the RFP is what I can't tell if that's just in the memo or in the RFP. Um, the timeline I love, it's aggressive. I don't know if it's too aggressive. Are we able to, I don't know, do we have enough sense that that's a reasonable request on a project like this, or should we
So
say, here's what we're thinking, like, should we be leaving it more and letting them say what's reasonable?
We can definitely do that. We can, we can extend the timeline if we need to. I'm hoping we don't have to. I really would love for this to be aligned with the website redesign.
Yeah, agreed.
If not, we can always add the new logo into the website redesign, but it would be great if we could try to have it aligned. If not, we can always push the timeline out. With the RFP, with the state grant, we have time. So we
Yeah,
don't have
I
to
saw-
spend
yeah.
the money because of the grant, but
Yeah,
it's just trying to align with Civic Plus and our website redesign as well. But I
Agreed.
don't wanna push anything, and speed something up and not have a great product if, just so that we can get it on the website either.
yeah, I guess what I'm trying to name is my fear is in whether baking it into the RFP turns off some strong firms who
Sure.
might say, oh, we can't do it in that timeline, but who otherwise would have said, well, here's the timeline that we could do, and if they were the strongest firm, but it was gonna take, then like, maybe.
Amesbury did it in 2 months.
Okay,
So I
That-
felt like if they could do it in 2 months, why can't we do it in 4 months?
yeah, okay, cool.
They also did it during COVID too, though, so it might have been easier for, I don't,
Right, there might have been fewer projects
Yeah.
going on,
so.
okay. The guideline, is it necessary to spell out a branding guideline more explicitly, like what we're expecting to be included in that guideline? Fonts, colors, is that necessary, or is it like whatever, they're branding firms, this is what they do?
I think they know what that means,
Yeah.
but if we wanna get a little more specific, I'm happy to do that. But, my understanding is that, a brand guideline, most firms know, what that entails, but.
Okay. Color logos, yeah, I like.
If you have suggestions of what you want me to put in it, I'm happy to.
Yeah, I mean, we spell out this, various, how do we word it? 6 separate logos and colorways, templates and toolkit, et cetera, and a brand guidelines document. Yeah, maybe that's enough. I wanted to do a quick gut check that we had, that we were being as specific as we need to be.
Okay.
If you feel as though we are, that's, I think, all I need to hear. But if you want to get more specific.
And we'll have meetings too with the consultant to talk about, really expectations too,
Yeah.
so.
And then selection criteria. Okay, great. So cost is going to be 25%. So it's not, we're not saying cost as long as everything else is met. We're weighing that with the quality of the proposal, which I agree with. Budget I had asked about. Reasonable timeline I had asked about. The other thing I wanted to say that I supported was doing both, the seal and the logo. And maybe it's premature, but I think similar to how we can have both a seal and a logo, we can have a motto and a slogan, and retain sort of the history of the current motto,
Yeah.
while building on a new slogan. Okay, I think I have no additional questions. In terms of preparing ourselves for phase 2, are we looking for grant opportunities, looking for, earmark opportunities that can help set us up for success?
So we have another 50,000, correct?
That's correct. So there's two 50,000. So you have $100,000, and this would obviously be for that probably 25% of that 100,000, and then after that, I think there would be the funding. We've also discussed at the right time you know, which is, I just want to be clear, is further down the road.
Right.
The wayfinding piece probably is going to require a grant or some sort of state level earmark, because that's a very, very expensive proposition.
Right.
So once we're a little, I think, past I don't want to speak for Amy, but I think as long as we're past, like, yay, we have the logo, we have the seal, right? We've decided on these things.
Yeah.
I think then we'll try to scope out where those funding opportunities are
Yeah.
for that. But I think for now, Amy, I
Great.
think we're in pretty good shape for the year. We've got the website funding, we've got 100,000 in this. I was surprised at how affordable, you know, knock on wood,
Yeah,
some of
no,
these
I am
numbers
too.
were.
Yeah.
I think, you know, I have to assume those have gone up just because of the way they are, but I think, I like Amy's approach by starting with a bite-sized chunk.
Yeah.
Because if the bids come in way more expensive than we think, because
Yeah.
the market has changed, you know, at least we have some flexibility to move.
Yeah, great. Great. Yeah, and I guess to that point, you know, Metro West Visitors Bureau always talks about grant funding available.
Yeah.
I never know what it is, but that might be one of the sources. You know, and mass tourism.
Yes, they have one in January, their deadline.
I do. Okay, great,
School's opening.
great.
It's
Alright.
definitely at our top of mind for grant funding, so.
Yeah, just kind of as long as we're keeping a watchful eye.
We
I
are.
trust
We
we are.
definitely
That's
are.
good. Other questions? Other thoughts?
No.
Easy enough. Thank you so much for
Okay.
all the work you put into this. Yeah, look forward to seeing the next steps and
Great.
seeing some proposals.
All right, we're
Maybe
hoping to get
submitting
this out at July 29th, so.
Great. You don't need anything else from us? Do we have to vote on the RFP? You feel? Great. Thumbs up from us. Thank you very much. With that, I'd accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Maybe I'll roll call.
No.
Nope.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Great.
Non-debatable.
Meeting adjourned.